I wasn't waiting for this comment. I was waiting for it because I knew somebody was going to say it. And guess what? You're wrong. You know what they say about assumptions.
Ah, you made an assumption. Well, don't make an assumption because you will be an ass and the ump will shun you.
So actually, the only thing I had to work on was the rough outline of where their walls were and their window. I did not look at their cabinet plans at all. They didn't even have their cabinet plans with them. But Dave, what do you mean? You said you tweaked the design. Let me explain. So the customer said they liked the Macaulay door, which is from Diamond, which is a master brand company. And they were originally looking at it in a gray finish. And they asked me, is there a way for me to get this cabinet less money? Now, they happen to have the Macaulay door in the Diamond Express program. Basically, they sort of mass produce high quality cabinets with the solid wood box with the slow close hinges and the heavy duty drawer glides and all that in your basic sizes, 9, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, etc. So there's no customizable options. You can't get something a little more shallow or a little more deep like you can with the full line. But by shopping out of the Express catalog for part of it and switching from a gray to a white, we were actually able to value engineer a lower price while still keeping their basic design consistent. Another thing that I point out to people looking to save some money on their cabinets is looking at the uppers. Now, in a perfect world, all your doors would line up perfectly. And so over an 18-inch cabinet, you would have an 18-inch upper cabinet. And over a 30-inch cabinet, you would have a 30-inch cabinet. But for some people, having those doors line up is not an important detail. And I respect that. And I point out to them that one 48-inch upper cabinet costs less money than a 30 and an 18. And if you do that multiple times in the same room, you can lower your overall cabinet bill by hundreds, even thousands, depending on the layout. So for the record, one of the things that I learned a very long time ago is you never cheat off of somebody else's homework, because if somebody else made a mistake, then you're going to make the same mistake. So I very rarely will just copy a list, copy a design, whatever, when presented with the opportunity to provide a competitive quote. I remember one time when I was doing some plumbing specifications, and a designer that I knew named Betty from San Diego sent me a list, a spreadsheet of all the fixtures that she wanted, including towel bars, robe hooks from a company called Roll. Now, Roll Home is a high-end import company. They import their products from Italy and England for the most part. And I went all the way down Betty's list, and I provided her a price on each item in the list, in every towel bar, every robe hook, every toilet paper holder. And her list was a year or two old, so she knew her prices were going to go up from when she had it quoted before. But she called me up and she said, "Dave, you're like double the price of the other guys. What's going on? Like, I'm going to have to take my business elsewhere." And I said, "Listen, Betty, let me look at the original quote, please." She said, "No, this is, I promise you it's the same. Please, something is wrong, Betty. Something is wrong. Let me see it." And luckily, I had built up enough trust and enough relationship with this designer that she did let me see the quote from the competitor. And you want to know what they did? This was a 5-bathroom house, and the competitor quoted out the master bath with all the fixtures, all the robe hooks, all the towel bars, all the everything. And we're talking $500 towel bars. These are not cheap towel bars. These are solid brass, solid bronze kind of stuff. And the competitor quoted it all out in the master bathroom. And in all the other subsequent bathrooms, he put a note that said, "See master bathroom for accessory pricing." He didn't add it. So his bottom line on his quote was lower than my bottom line, and it always would be until she went to actually place the order. Then she would have been screwed. And when I pointed that out to her, of course I won her business. Once we added it all up, I was actually lower. My prices were actually lower than this competitor from 2 years ago, meaning the prices had gone up and my prices were still lower because I know how to work the system, because I'm always fighting for my clients.